What is the difference between being a veteran like yourself and maybe some of your colleagues, either on the field or on the sidelines, who've not been this deep in the playoffs before? You probably bring some wisdom and perspective, having been in the postseason and all the way to the big one, that others have not experienced before. And I imagine that comes with a unique pressure. How important is it, in other words, to have experienced this kind of high wire level versus having never done it before? You need some veterans like yourself, I assume, right now to talk everybody down a bit.
No, it does mean a lot. I mean, we have a mix of players who've never been in the playoffs, and a few that have. We have maybe 2 or 3 players who ever played in the Super Bowl and won a Super Bowl. And on the coaching staff, it's very similar. We have maybe a handful of guys that have been to the playoffs. We have a number of guys who've never, ever been in the playoffs, and less on being in an NFC championship or an AFC championship game. So to have some guys on the team that have been in this situation and some coaches on the staff that have been in this situation, it does help. And I know in my conversations with Mike McDonald, our head coach, and he's been to the AFC championship game, the one thing that we both talked about was what you mentioned earlier, just staying locked in on this one opponent and our process. You know, what have we done to get to this point? And I was talking with John Harbaugh, who the former head coach of the Ravens and now the head coach of the Giants, and we were talking earlier in the week, and I said, John, think back to those number of times you've been in this position, getting ready for the AFC championship, and here we are working towards the NFC championship. Give me some thoughts. You know, what are some things that you look back at and say, man, if I could do it different, I would do this or that. And he came back with the same things that we've been talking about here. Just stay locked in on our process and keep it about this team and not looking ahead. And that's what we try to do. So the experience definitely helped.